Morning, everybody. Welcome to Don't Speak with Johnny Storm. News you're not supposed to speak about. Well, here's one that I guarantee you not many people are speaking about. This is from Dilyana.bg. This is a Bulgarian website. Now, Dilyana is a Bulgarian investigative journalist and Middle East correspondent. Over the last 2 years, she's published a series of revealing reports on weapons supplies to terrorists in Syria and Iraq. Her current work is focused on biological weapons programs. Now, her Twitter feed and everything is in here. I highly suggest following this person. She's written some really good stuff, and this one's good. This one's going to be long, so I'm going to warn you about that up front. But it's worth it. Now, the Bible says this. This is what popped into my mind after reading this today. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, and nothing concealed that will not be known and illuminated. Luke 8:17. It's all coming to light now, isn't it? All of these programs, all of these deep state shenanigans are coming to light. U.S. diplomats involved in trafficking of human blood and pathogens for secret military program. But nothing going on here. Nothing to see here, right? So Pentagon scientists have been deployed in 25 countries and given diplomatic immunity to research deadly viruses, bacteria, and toxins at a U.S. military offshore biolaboratory under a $2.1 billion DoD program. Now, the U.S. Embassy to Tbilisi transports frozen human blood and pathogens as diplomatic cargo for a secret U.S. military program. Internal documents implicating U.S. diplomats in the transportation of and experimenting on pathogens under diplomatic cover were leaked to me by Georgian insiders. According to these documents, Pentagon scientists have been deployed to the Republic of Georgia and have been given diplomatic immunity to research deadly diseases and biting insects at the Lugar Center, the Pentagon Biolaboratory in Georgia's capital, Tbilisi. This military facility is just one of the many Pentagon biolaboratories in 25 countries across the world. They are funded by the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, or DTRA, under a $2.1 billion military program, Cooperative Biological Engagement Program, or CBEP. All these abbreviations of their government, unreal. And are located in the former Soviet Union countries such as Georgia and Ukraine, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Africa. Now here's the one in Tbilisi. Instead of investigating the health of its own citizens, or investing in the health of its own citizens, the U.S. government has spent $161 million of U.S. taxpayer money on the Lugar Center in Tbilisi for research on deadly diseases and biting insects abroad. Now, the question is, why is all of this top secret? Why is it all classified? And that gives you a map from Tbilisi to the airbase. We also have troops stationed here as well. Did you know that? They're there. Now, the Pentagon Biolaboratory is heavily guarded. All passers-by within a radius of 100 meters are filmed through the military biolaboratory is located, although the military biolaboratory is located within a residential area. Great place for a biolab, right? You got guinea pigs right next door. Now here's a picture of her being filmed while talking to local residents on the street near the biolab. She wanted to know why the guards were filming her, and they warned her that if she didn't comply, show my passport, and leave this place, she would be arrested. My official request to the Lugar Center for access to the facility and for interviews has also been rejected. And there's security checking her out. Secret experiments at night. However, I go back at night when the laboratory is seemingly still working. No matter how far the distance, the air is laden with the smell of chemicals. The smell coming from the Lugar Center at night is blown by the wind to the residential area. Local residents from the Alexieva Skivka neighborhood where the laboratory is located complain that dangerous chemicals are being secretly burnt at night and that hazardous waste is being emptied into the nearby river through the laboratory's pipes. You see, they'd never get away with this crap here, so they're going to do it overseas in 25 different countries, including this Georgia. Here's more pictures of the facility, this time at night. A diplomatic car with U.S. Embassy registration plates can be seen in the car park of the Lugar Center at night. There it is. A few hours later, the diplomatic vehicle is still in the car park of the Lugar Center, and there's a strong smell of chemicals in the area. Locals complain of constant headaches, nausea, high blood pressure, and dizziness when chemicals are being burnt at night in the laboratory, which is just a couple hundred meters from their homes. There is a smoke, black, red, green at night, or especially early in the morning at around 3 or 4 a.m. Even the hens have died. They put in a big pipe underground and connected it to the drains. This smell comes from there. It smells like rotten eggs and decaying hay. The smell is so bad and is spread in different directions by the wind, says Atiri Gotisi, who lives in a block of flats next to the laboratory. Well, this woman here says she has a thyroid disease. There are families of 3 people in the neighborhood, and all 3 of them have a thyroid disease. They say it's because of the laboratory. And I wouldn't doubt it. God only knows what's coming up to with that gas. Now, Albert here, he lives 300 meters from the laboratory, shows the 4 chimneys from the Lugar Center, which release smoke at night. Sometimes the wind spreads the smell of rotten eggs. Once I woke up early in the morning and noticed violet smoke coming from the laboratory. At nighttime, they let the smoke out so that people don't see. Why at night? What are they hiding from us? He asks, and then provides another worrying fact. There are big blue plastic pipes along this street from the laboratory and from where everything goes to the river, which is 3 to 4 kilometers away. Not only do they pollute our air, but they also poison our water. Now here's one I bet you've never heard of. Locals, poisonous gas killed 2 Filipinos. Neighbors recall a tragic incident involving 4 Filipinos who worked at the Lugar Center. 2 of the foreigners died of an alleged gas poisoning in their rented flat in Block 44 of the settlement. The first time when they called emergency service, we were told that they had food poisoning from fish. But the second time when the ambulance came, there was foam coming out of their mouths. That sounds like sarin, doesn't it? What they're trying to fake in Syria? They were shouting, "Help, help," when they passed away. They took them away and covered it all up. It all happened here. That was Albert Nurburkin, and he's showing them right here the sealed room where they supposedly died. Or they did die, right there. So, another witness, Elvira Ratiani, who lived next door and witnessed the foreigners die before her eyes. They were my neighbors. We lived on the same floor. And once they were poisoned and asked us to call the emergency service. We phoned and the emergency service saved them. They said it was probably fish poisoning. The second time, they knocked on the door and asked again for help. There were 4 Filipinos. 2 of them were saved, but the other 2 died. So there you go. And it was in Block 44, right next to the laboratory. Human blood and pathogens is diplomatic cargo to the U.S. Embassy. Leaked documents. Internal documents and correspondence between the Ministry of Health of Georgia and the U.S. Embassy to Tbilisi show what experiments have been conducted at the Lugar Center. Leaked documents reveal that the U.S. Embassy to Tbilisi transports pathogens, as well as frozen human blood, as diplomatic cargo. Well, of course, because then you have complete immunity and can carry whatever you want. There's a picture of the embassy, and that's the address to which pathogens and blood samples are being shipped to. And here's the documents to back it up. These are from 2017. There's antigens and serums and so forth, diplomatic cargo. So somebody leaked a lot of stuff to her, and that's good. Now, diplomatic cargo shipments are exempt from inspections and taxes, according to instructions from the Pentagon's Defense Threat Reduction Agency, which oversees and funds the laboratories. Biological materials for the needs of the program must be shipped as hand-carrying items to the U.S. embassies. Oh, sure, that way they don't get inspected. In cases of importing to Russia, this biological material must be carried by diplomats in a diplomatic pouch and sealed as diplomatic cargo. And then there's even instructions for the Pentagon about prostitutes being strictly prohibited, and they're not supposed